Breaking Barriers, Building Legacies, the extraordinary journey of a black woman in security. Welcome to a journey that will challenge your perspective, ignite your spirit, and leave you forever changed. Today, we're diving deep into a story of resilience, determination, and the unyielding pursuit of success in the face of adversity. I'm honored to share with you the extraordinary insights and experiences of Latasha Holiwell, a trailblazing African-American entrepreneur who's not just breaking glass ceilings in the security industry, she's shattering concrete walls and rebuilding them with her own hands. Latasha's story isn't just inspiring, it's a testament to the power of perseverance and the impact one person can have on an entire industry. Her journey is reshaping the landscape of security, paving the way for future generations, and challenging us all to think differently about diversity, inclusion, and what it truly means to lead. Imagine for a moment standing at the edge of a vast, turbulent ocean. The waves crash against the shore, each one a challenge, a potential setback. But instead of retreating, you take a deep breath, square your shoulders, and dive in head first. This is Latasha's approach to life and business. She doesn't just dip her toes in the water, she immerses herself fully, embracing the currents and learning to swim with grace and power. As I listened to Latasha share her experiences, I couldn't help but be struck by the raw honesty in her voice. There was no sugarcoating, no attempt to gloss over the harsh realities of her journey. Instead, she spoke with a candor that was both refreshing and deeply moving. It reminded me of the haunting melodies of Billie Holiday, whose voice carried the weight of generations of struggle and hope. Let's start with a scene that might feel all too familiar to many of you. Picture a boardroom filled with executives in crisp suits, their faces a mix of skepticism and curiosity. At the head of the table stands Latasha, poised and confident, about to pitch her security services to a large corporation known for its conservative culture. The tension in the room is palpable. You can almost hear the unspoken thoughts. What could this woman possibly know about security? But Latasha doesn't falter. Instead, she draws strength from their doubt, launching into her presentation with a confidence that's almost tangible. As she speaks, something remarkable happens. Those skeptical faces begin to change. Eyebrows raise in surprise, then interest. By the end of the meeting, the same executives who had initially dismissed her are leaning forward in their seats, eager to learn more. This experience taught Latasha a valuable lesson. Perception is a powerful tool, and sometimes the best way to change someone's perception is to exceed their expectations so thoroughly that they have no choice but to reassess their assumptions. As she put it, I don't just want to be in the room. I want to own the room, to transform it, to leave it better than I found it. But let's be real for a moment. This journey hasn't been a walk in the park. Latasha spoke candidly about the times when self-doubt crept in, when the constant pressure to prove herself became almost overwhelming. There were moments when she questioned whether she was cut out for this industry, whether the fight was worth it. It was during one of these low points that Latasha had an epiphany. She realized that her struggles weren't just about her personal success, they were about paving the way for others who would come after her. She understood that every barrier she broke down, every stereotype she shattered, was creating a path for other women of color to follow. This realization transformed Latasha's approach to her work. She began to see herself not just as a business owner, but as a trailblazer, a mentor, and a beacon of hope for others who might be struggling to find their place in the industry. Now, let me share the story that truly captures the essence of Latasha's impact. It's about a young woman named Aisha, a recent college graduate with the skills and drive to succeed in the security industry, but lacking in confidence and intimidated by the male-dominated environment. Latasha took Aisha under her wing, sharing not just her knowledge of the industry, but also the hard-won wisdom she had gained through her own experiences. Over the course of several months, Latasha watched as Aisha blossomed. The timid young woman who had once been afraid to speak up in meetings was now confidently presenting her ideas and standing her ground in negotiations. Seeing this transformation, Latasha realized that her impact extended far beyond her own success. She was helping to shape the future of the industry, one mentee at a time. This experience reinforced for Latasha the importance of community and support networks for minority business owners. As she put it, we're not just building businesses, we're building legacies, creating opportunities for generations to come. But Latasha's journey isn't just about overcoming external obstacles. She also spoke about the internal battles she's had to fight. The self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, the fear of failure that can be so paralyzing. These are challenges that many entrepreneurs face, but they can be particularly acute for those who don't see many people like themselves in positions of power and success. Latasha's approach to these internal struggles is both practical and profound. She's developed a set of strategies that she calls her mental armor, tools and techniques that help her stay focused, motivated, and resilient in the face of challenges. One of her most powerful techniques is what she calls reframing the narrative. When faced with a setback or negative experience, Latasha makes a conscious effort to reframe it in a way that empowers rather than discourages her. For example, when she loses a bid for a contract, instead of seeing it as a failure, she views it as valuable market research, an opportunity to learn more about what her potential clients are looking for and how she can improve her offerings. This ability to find the silver lining, to extract lessons and growth opportunities from even the most difficult situations, is one of the keys to Latasha's success. It's a mindset that allows her to stay resilient and forward-thinking, even in the face of adversity. Here now, let's talk about authenticity. In an industry that often values conformity, Latasha has made a conscious decision to be unapologetically herself. This means embracing her identity as a black woman rather than trying to downplay or hide it. It means bringing her unique perspective and experiences to the table, even when they challenge the status quo. Latasha shared a powerful anecdote about a time when she was asked to speak at a major industry conference. As she prepared for her presentation, she wrestled with whether to tone down her message, to make it more palatable for an audience that might not be ready to hear hard truths about diversity and inclusion in the security industry. In the end, she decided to speak her truth, unfiltered and uncompromising. She talked about the challenges faced by women and minorities in the industry, the unconscious biases that often go unacknowledged, and the urgent need for change. The response was overwhelming. While some in the audience were clearly uncomfortable, many more were energized and inspired. After her talk, she was approached by countless attendees, men and women, of all races and backgrounds, who thanked her for her honesty and courage. This experience reinforced for Latasha the power of authentic leadership. By being true to herself and her values, she was able to spark important conversations and inspire others to think differently about diversity and inclusion in their own organizations. Now, I want to share with you some of the wisdom Latasha has gained on her journey. When I asked her what advice she would give to other minority entrepreneurs who are struggling to find their footing in challenging industries, her response was characteristically thoughtful and nuanced. First, she said, recognize that your unique perspective is an asset, not a liability. The experiences and insights you bring to the table are valuable precisely because they're different from the norm. Don't try to fit into a mold that wasn't made for you. Instead, create your own mold. She continued, second, build a strong support network. Seek out mentors, allies, and peers who understand your struggles and can offer guidance and encouragement. Success is rarely achieved in isolation. We all need a community to lean on and learn from. Finally, she said, her voice taking on a note of fierce determination, never, ever give up. The road may be long and filled with obstacles, but every step forward is a victory. Every challenge you overcome makes you stronger and paves the way for those who will come after you. As we near the end of our time together, I want to challenge you to think differently about diversity, inclusion, and leadership. Latasha's story isn't just about one woman's success. It's about the potential for transformation that exists within each of us. Think about your own industry, your own workplace. How can you be a catalyst for change? How can you use your unique perspective and experiences to challenge the status quo and create more inclusive environments? Perhaps you're in a position of leadership. If so, ask yourself, am I truly fostering an environment where all voices are heard and valued? Am I actively seeking out diverse perspectives and experiences? Am I willing to have uncomfortable conversations and challenge my own assumptions? Or maybe you're just starting out in your career feeling overwhelmed and unsure of your place. Remember Latasha's words, your unique perspective is an asset. Don't be afraid to speak up, to share your ideas, to challenge the norm. Your voice matters, and your experiences are valuable. For those of you who don't face the same barriers that Latasha and others like her do, I challenge you to become allies. Listen to the experiences of those around you. Use your privilege and your position to amplify underrepresented voices. Be willing to have difficult conversations and to challenge discriminatory practices when you see them. The journey towards true equality and inclusion is not an easy one. It requires courage, persistence, and a willingness to challenge deeply ingrained systems and beliefs. But as Latasha's story shows us, it is a journey worth taking. Imagine a world where everyone, regardless of their race, gender, or background, has the opportunity to reach their full potential. A world where diversity is not just tolerated, but celebrated. Where innovation flourishes because of the rich tapestry of perspectives and experiences that inform it. This is not just a pipe dream, it's a future we can create. One decision, one action, one conversation at a time. And it starts with each of us, here and now. So I leave you with this call to action. Be brave, be authentic, be the change you want to see in your industry, in your community, in the world. Challenge your own assumptions and biases. Seek out diverse perspectives. Use your voice and your influence to create more inclusive spaces. Remember, every time you push against a barrier, you're not just creating an opportunity for yourself, you're paving the way for those who will come after you. Every time you speak up against discrimination or exclusion, you're contributing to a larger conversation that has the power to transform industries and societies. The path may not be easy, but as Latasha Holiwell has shown us, it is infinitely rewarding. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one standing on a stage like this, sharing your own story of transformation and inspiring others to create change. So go forth with courage, with determination, and with the knowledge that your unique voice and perspective have the power to shape the future. The world is waiting for your contribution. It's time to dive in, to embrace the challenges, and to start building the inclusive, equitable future we all deserve. Thank you.